for Anna. You've gone from playing quite a small role in Twilight, which was obviously a huge success, to playing a lead role in this film, which will be a very big success too, against George Clooney, which is amazing. How did you feel when you got this role?
Well, I was sort of shocked beyond belief because I thought Jason hated me. My audition was very strange, and I think Jason was trying to not psych me out by being showing any kind of enthusiasm, but I thought he hated me, and then when I got the job, I was so shocked, and I thought, oh, he's just like that, he's just going to be a tyrant on set. But then, but he's very, very nice. But yeah, I was very surprised. But I mean, you know, thrilled beyond words. I mean, the script is so beautiful, and I sort of didn't really think that George was doing it for whatever reason. I just assumed like it was just too good to be true for a script to be this good and to be working with George Clooney. I just thought it was one of those things that was rumored, and then Jason told me the Italy story, and I got really excited. And that was one of those moments where I was sitting at lunch with him trying to act like, oh right, of course I'm going to be in a movie with George Clooney because I do that kind of thing.
Why did Anna think you hated her, Jason?
Well, look, one, I'm a mean guy, but two, so I wrote the role for Anna, and Anna auditioned against, 30 of the best actresses of her generation, and I needed to know that she could actually do it. I basically saw her in one movie and said, oh, she's great, but I need to see her actually read the lines. And when she came in, I didn't want her to get psyched out by saying, hey, I wrote this role for you, because then I think she'd probably freak out and not be comfortable, because then it'd be kind of hers to lose. But since I'm a horrible actor myself, in trying not to show that I was already a huge fan of hers, I probably wasn't as nice as I could have been. It's kind of like, if you meet a pretty girl and you don't want to like show her that you think she's pretty, and so you're trying to act as straight as possible, and then you're not acting like yourself, and pretty soon you're acting like a jerk.
We're coming towards the end. Question right at the back, yes.
Yes, thank you. As a foreign news correspondent, international broadcaster here in London, it is very unusual to see my colleagues in one of the press preview showings relaxing and laughing. I want to tell you all how much they enjoyed and laughed with Vera when she gives up the game that she's a married woman with children. Everybody went, and when Anna says that what a terrible thing, or someone tells Anna what a terrible thing to break up the relationship by text, and Clooney says, yeah, it's a bit like firing someone on the internet. The whole of the cinema was in absolute stitches. And the other thing I'd like to say is that yesterday we saw Father of My Children. I recommend Jason and all the others to see it because it's the other side of the coin of when, a producer-director runs out of money for its projects, of which there are many, and the problems, the family don't even know the problems. It's a French movie, very real, very terrible. So it's not a real question, but I just wondered your reactions to that.
It actually brings up something worth mentioning, and that is that this is the first film that my father and I have actually worked on together. I had avoided doing that on the first two because I wanted to make a name for myself, and once I made a couple of films, there was nothing that made me more proud. Now, my father wrote one line in this movie. And that line is, oh, that's kind of like firing people online. It's a monster line. It gets applause every time the movie plays. It gets if the reaction that is a 10, the reaction to the next line is a 4. And I don't know, I'm a little jealous, but but it's a really proud moment for me because it's as if like a baseball player. He just showed up and was like, oh, you want me to hit one? All right, sure.
Before we come to the final question, can I just ask, one of the pleasures certainly for film goers, for film buffs like myself, is when well-known faces turn up in little titchy roles. You mentioned J.K., a very, very unselfish cameo, and also I think a lot of us are waiting for Sam Elliott, having seen him on the credits at the beginning, and wonder when is he going to turn up. So getting people to do, very distinguished actors to do little titchy bits, is that how much explanation do they need? Was it just a nice check?
Well, you know, once I give a great role like the ones I gave to Vera and Anna, I presume that on the next film they'll come in for, you know, 4 lines of dialogue each. I begged, you know, all of them to kind of come in and do those roles, and they've all been very gracious and have done them. And I try to keep a strong relationship with them so that when I ask, they come back and do these roles. Look, when I started my career, I think my biggest goal was I want to be a director that actors want to work with. Actors make movies, not only fiscally, but they make them work. And I just knew that the only way I would ever be a successful director in the way that I want to be a filmmaker would be if, you know, good actors actually wanted to work with me. You know, I'm slowly kind of working my way towards that. And I look at, you know, the people like Sam Elliott who would show up for a day and do it like that. And, you know, that makes me more proud than anything.
Finally, yeah.
Hi, Jason. I want you to, if you could talk a little bit about your choice of music in your films. Is that drawn out of personal taste, and how was it in this case?
I start putting together an iTunes library while I'm writing the screenplay, and I'm very specific about music, and it's a very personal thing for me. I originally thought that this movie was all going to be done to Hank Williams music, and then I got to the edit and realized I was wrong, and started moving into kind of folk music then and now. But yeah, no, it's very personal for me.
So can I, on behalf of all of us, thank you very much, our guests, and thanks particularly for the